Good morning, Mark. Hey, that day has finally come. Our wedding is tomorrow. I can't wait.
Oh, hey Beth. Yeah, finally, huh? So, how are things at home? You folks doing okay? It's been a while since you've been back.
Yeah, my folks are all excited. Mom's cooking me up my favorite food. It'll be nice.
That sounds great.
We already submitted the marriage certificate. So, although we're officially married, it's still nice to have a real wedding. Makes it legitimate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. All the preparations are set, and all we have to do is wait, and you'll be walking down the aisle in no time.
You're making me nervous already. Well, I better get to bed. Got a long day tomorrow. Let's meet at the wedding hall tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be there.
Let's see. This is Randy, a friend of Mark's. I'm sure you heard from Mark that I made all the arrangements for the wedding. That little surprise he talked to you about? I'll set that in motion right when you say your vows. Just so you know, this little show is gonna wow everyone there. My idea, by the way. Actually, I'm a bundle of nerves. Hope it goes without a hitch. Okay, see you later. No response from you about that last message I sent you earlier. Oh well, suppose you're just busy getting ready. You know all about how this is gonna go down. I mean, Mark went over it countless times. Okay, here I go. Let's get the show on the road. Okay, that's that. Mission accomplished. Boy, you really did a great acting job there, Beth. I was surprised. Oscar material for sure. Man, I ran in there, stopped the whole proceeding, swept you off your feet to my car waiting outside, and we took off. The performance you put on was so real, yelling and screaming at me to stop. It was totally awesome. To be honest, I actually thought it was all real for a second. But did you really have to keep up the performance in the car? I suppose you really got into character, and I understand that it's probably hard to set your mind straight again. You went so far that you ended up ripping your wedding dress. Just so you know, that was not my fault. You just overdid it with your acting. I don't want you charging me for damaging the dress or anything later on. And costs like that, I mean, I suggest you ask Mark about that. Okay, now that the plan is over, I'm gonna go into hiding until things cool down. See you later, and good luck with the rest.
Well, that prank was a piece of cake. Great planning by yours truly. Bet you were super surprised. So how'd it go? You should have seen everyone's faces. You heard about our little prank from Randy, right? It's not every day you see that kind of elaborate prank. Awesome, wasn't it? I already explained everything on my end, so it's safe to come back. Alrighty then, I better get going. Hey Beth, you there? You even see my text? I know that prank probably really got you, but relax and come on back. All is safe now. If you don't come back in time, all the scheduling for the wedding is gonna get all screwed up. Oh, I get it. That prank was a bit too much for you. You pissed off at me or something? Is that why you're not responding to my messages? Is that it? Or is this like your reverse playing a prank on me? Is that it? Come on, Beth. Women dream of such situations. It's like that famous movie. All women want to be in this kind of position at least once in their lives. This is a surprise that me and my friend Randy played on you. Something you'll remember for the rest of your life. Oh, come on, you should be overjoyed that it played out so smoothly. I'm serious. Please get back here ASAP. Hey, Beth, what's up? Where the hell are you? Stop being so stubborn. You know what you just did? You didn't get here, so we had no choice but to cancel the wedding. How could you do this? I'm not going to pay a cent for the cost. You know that, right? The bill's going to you. I told all the guests that you suddenly had a change of heart and took off with Randy. That the whole thing was actually real. That's true anyway, right? I mean, I can't even get a hold of Randy for God's sake. You're still with him, aren't you? You know what, Beth? I really didn't think you're that kind of woman. I had you pegged all wrong. I was completely snookered by you. How could you do this to me? The only thing left is divorce. Yeah, that's right, divorce. You're gonna pay for this too. I mean, literally.
Mark?
Finally, I was wondering when you were gonna respond. Where the hell you been? How could you run off with Randy like that? It was supposed to be a friggin' prank for God's sake. So how does it feel to con me like that? I was such an idiot, I thought I was the one playing the prank.
Did Dad contact you?
Huh? Dad? What are you talking about?
I'm at the hospital now.
Pardon me? At the hospital? Why?
I was kidnapped from that wedding by that guy, Randy. He took me to some place and threw me into this dark room. He unlocked the door, and I wasn't able to get out.
All you had to do was send me a message on your phone. Did you even think about that?
My phone is at the wedding hall. I can't very well carry it while I said my vows.
Excuse me? At the wedding hall?
I was finally able to get it back like 5 minutes ago. As a result, I wasn't able to see the messages that you and Randy sent to me. I never saw those messages. I had the fingerprint lock on it, so I wasn't able to get someone to check the messages either. And there seems to have been a total lack of communication between you and Randy. I'm sure you can comprehend the current situation, right?
The current situation? Well, what do you mean?
I'm saying all this time I wasn't able to get help from anybody. I was completely helpless.
You serious? But I was only trying to...
I later learned that I was locked up in a warehouse. It just so happened that a security guard was making his rounds and happened to find me passed out on the floor. I was taken to the hospital by ambulance. All I had were some scratches and bruises, but I did hit my head in that dark room. So I'll be staying overnight here just in case.
Which hospital are you staying at?
Do you really think I'm going to tell you?
Of course I want you to tell me. What are you talking about? I'm your husband, for God's sake. I'm concerned for the well-being of my wife. We also have to talk about the wedding. We have to reschedule it, right? We have to explain the whole situation to everyone. Clear any misconceptions.
Wait. You're not seriously thinking about rescheduling the wedding, are you?
Of course I am. This time we'll do it right. No more silly pranks. I do it all different. I'll think it's some kind of surprise that you really appreciate. Of course, any surprise will be totally risk-free. I give you my word. I'll think this through, I swear.
No thanks. I've had enough. I want a divorce.
Oh, you're not serious. Come on, Beth, it was just a joke. Hey, Beth, I know you're seeing this. Pick up. Why the hell did you hire a lawyer? I went to my dad's place after the conversation with you, and he told me to never come back home again. And then today, a lawyer you hired came to my place. What the heck is going on here, Beth? He's demanding that I pay damages to you, and that I have to pay for the entire wedding. Seriously? What the hell is this, Beth? We're married. I'm married like a month. You can't do this. And you went ahead and canceled our honeymoon too? What's gotten into you, Beth? You were looking forward to that trip. What's going on in that head of yours?
What's going on? I want to ask you the same thing, Mark. Well, what's going on in my head right now is that, well, put it simply, divorce.
Wait, what?
Do you even realize the sheer terror I went through with your demented prank? I get the feeling you have not an inkling of care for what you did or what emotional distress you caused me.
Come on, Beth, it was a wedding prank. A surprise, and a pretty cool one at that. All I did was think up the most elaborate prank I could play on you. Something that you'd remember for the rest of your life. I know maybe it was a little wild, but I bet you won't forget it anytime soon. Am I right?
You call that prank a little wild? Your little wild prank ruined the entire wedding, not to mention our marriage.
That's because you didn't come back right away.
Did you not hear the part where I said I was locked in a warehouse? Are you really that daft, Mark? Oh yeah, didn't I also say I had no way of communicating? On top of that, you canceled the wedding and said that I actually did run off with Randy. You make me out to be a total tramp. I'm also thinking of suing you for defamation.
Oh, hold it a second. Wait, what?
I want a divorce now. Not tomorrow or next week. Now! I don't want anything to do with you. Just being around you is trauma for me. Am I getting through to you, Mark? Please. I don't ever want to see you again.
But I was only trying to make the wedding something unforgettable, something we could talk about for years to come. Hey, Beth, what the hell's going on? I just learned that both me and Randy, we just got fired from our jobs. Is this all you're doing?
Please, Mark, not again.
What do you mean, not again? This is serious business. This is our livelihood you're talking about. How are we supposed to pay you for damages and the cost of the wedding if we don't have jobs? You tell me, Beth. Lose my job and all payment stops. You're just making it worse for you.
I'm sure you already heard where I was locked up after Randy kidnapped me from the wedding.
Pardon me?
That warehouse is owned by your company. The company that you and Randy work at. You use the company warehouse for your treacherous little prank. Do you really think that the company would simply look the other way? Do you guys really think you guys can keep your jobs after dragging the company into this, frankly, dangerous prank?
But we were on...
Anyways, you're barking up the wrong tree. I had nothing to do with you guys getting fired. The company made the decision all on their own.
Then maybe you can talk to them, you know? Get them to forget the whole thing, that you aren't gonna press charges or anything, that we didn't mean any harm.
Are you really asking me to help you?
Yeah, it's the least you could do for your husband.
Our divorce has already gone through, so I really don't know what you're talking about.
Hold it. What did you just say?
I was just getting to that. My lawyer submitted the divorce papers with your signature on it. So it's done. We already submitted all the papers at City Hall. It's all over. Kaput.
You already submitted them.
Yeah, that's right. Sooner the better, right? About the damages I was demanding, your folks paid the entire amount today. They said you'll be paying them back for it. Same with Randy. I just checked my bank account. He deposited the entire amount I was demanding. I got all I was asking for. Why stay married, right?
But so soon? Couldn't you have waited? I mean, we loved each other all these years. How could you just drop it like that? It just seems so unexpected.
You brought this all on yourself with that stupid prank. I thought you had more common sense, Mark. And please, did we really love each other like you said?
Beth, come on, let's give this one more chance. What do you say? I'll think of a real interesting surprise for you this time. The safe kind, I swear.
Are you still talking about surprises? What's this weird obsession with surprises, Mark? It's kind of creepy, to be honest.
But the reason why you went through with the divorce is because you didn't appreciate my prank, right?
Pardon me?
So, please give me another chance.
I don't understand you, Mark. Your goofy thought process really bewilders me.
Beth, please.
Goodbye forever, Mark. That guy. He couldn't figure out what he did wrong to the very end. I keep asking myself why I even fell for this guy, and however short, marrying that idiot. Considering the way that guy thinks, I was worried he would come barging into our house, demanding to talk to me. So, my parents and I decided to move to a neighboring town, some distance away from Mark. And what do you know? Just as I had foreseen, Randy and Mark came banging on my door late one night. They apparently thought we were still living there, and made quite a scene in front of the house. I guess they figured all would be resumed once I got back together with him, and probably thought that they could get their jobs back as well. But all they did was get arrested by the police for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. Luckily, we weren't there anymore. Now, both of them had criminal records, and their prospects for a decent job went straight down the drain. The decision to move out and start a new life with my family was the best decision I made. I work remote, so there's no particular job position I'm tied to, so I'm sure they will never locate me again. No more silly pranks for me.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Jenny Wilson, right?
Huh? You're Caroline Henderson, right?
I didn't think I would land in the same section as you. I mean, what are the chances? We applied for the company at the same time and had our interview on the same day. Is this the fate of the gods? What's God thinking?
Right, but what do you mean by that? We started our positions at the company just yesterday. I think that was the first time we met face to face.
You probably didn't know this, but your husband, he's my ex.
Excuse me?
Yeah, noticed the name and checked you out, and what do you know, you're married to my former husband. LOL. What are the chances? Don't you agree?
Well, he did tell me he was married once, but I didn't pursue it. I see.
Yeah. Can you believe it? LOL.
Well, no use worrying about it now. The past is the past.
Pardon me?
I'm saying it shouldn't hinder our jobs. It's a private matter. So, private and work are separate. Let's keep it that way going forward. Look forward to working together.
That's all you have to say?
Is there anything else?
Well, not really.
Okay, so that's it then. I'm in the middle of preparing dinner, so I better get going. Hey Ken, you okay to talk?
Oh, hey, Jenny. I just hopped on the bus. Should be home in about 30 minutes.
That's great.
What's up? You want me to pick something up on the way?
No, got everything. I just wanted to tell you something important. Couldn't wait.
Oh, yeah? What's up?
You know that company I started working for yesterday? Well, your ex-wife works there too.
Wait, what? You mean Caroline? She works there?
Yeah, she recognized my name and checked me out. I just got a line message from her.
You exchanged line IDs with her?
Yeah, I know. But we entered the company on the same day. I thought it wouldn't hurt. A coworker, after all. Until she told me I had no idea she was your ex-wife.
Are you gonna be okay with this? I mean, working with my ex-wife and in the same section?
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, to be honest. But it's only the second day of work, and besides, you guys got divorced like 3 years ago, right? So maybe we should just see how it goes. Maybe it'll all work out.
Well, if you say so, Jenny. But don't go out of your way or anything. If you run into trouble, you make sure you tell me. Got that?
Yeah, right. Thanks, Ken.
Oh, I'm almost at my stop. Sure I don't want to pick someone up at the grocery store?
No, I'm good. See you later.
Hey, Jenny. I'm a bit busy. Could you take over this assignment I'm working on? I would really appreciate it.
Are you serious? Again?
What do you mean again? You look like you're not doing anything important, so I figured I'd give you some meaningful work. You should thank me. But I keep asking and you won't do it.
It's not my job to assign work to the staff. That's our manager's job. Besides, we're still in the temporary training phase. The work we do now will be considered, and then they'll decide whether to hire us full-time, and it'll be a factor in determining what position we'll be assigned to down the road. If you don't do the job you're assigned, there just is no purpose in doing it. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, come on, Jenny. You're such a straight arrow. LOL. I can't believe you married Ken. Boy, his taste in women has really changed. I thought he went for beautiful, outgoing women, like me.
My husband has nothing to do with any of this. Anyway, I better get going.
What? Are you serious? What about my assignment?
I finished my assignment on time, so I'm going home. That's how it works.
What, really? I have a date tonight.
I have a date too. I'm set to meet my husband for dinner later tonight. Better get going.
I really can't believe you, Jenny. I can tell right away that you're BSing me. Ugh, forget it. I'll just ask Mindy. She'll do it for me. She has respect for her seniors. LOL.
Hey, Jenny, you back home? Sorry, I'm gonna be pretty late tonight.
Huh? Really? Why?
I just talked to my boss a while ago, and it seems he wants me to go on a business trip overseas. Starting the week after next for 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah? Didn't think you'd be going on business trips anytime soon, especially overseas.
Yeah, well, I've been helping out with this overseas project for some time now, and before I knew it, I was neck deep in it. They want me there as sort of a technical advisor.
Oh, I see.
So my coworker, who's been overseas numerous times, is going to advise me on what I have to take and what documents I have to prepare. So I'm gonna be pretty late. Go ahead and have dinner without me.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Hey, Caroline, are you there? Is today your day off? I haven't seen you all morning.
Oh, hello there, Jenny. Yes, I'm taking the day off. I'm on my way to a one-week holiday overseas with my boyfriend.
The manager is furious, you know. You never called them about taking time off. I mean, if you knew beforehand that you were taking a holiday, you should have put in an application. That's how it's usually done around here.
Oh no, I forgot all about that. Could you do me a favor and tell them for me? I would appreciate it.
Wait, excuse me? No, you tell them yourself. I'm not your assistant. You're an adult. There are rules you have to follow as a company employee.
Hey, Jenny, do you really not see it? I mean, it's obvious.
What the hell are you talking about?
This is too good. You know what? I'm gonna tell you after I arrive at my destination. Okay, I'm getting on the plane. Have to shut off my phone. See ya.
Hey, Carol.
Hello, Jenny. Been a few days. This is Carolyn, the one on a wonderful holiday overseas. Remember me? LOL.
You really have nerve, Caroline. It's been 3 days. At this rate, you're going to get fired. You do know that, don't you?
Yeah, whatever. I really don't care.
Excuse me?
I was going to quit anyway. No need for a newlywed to work anymore. LOL.
Pardon me? Does that mean you're going to marry your current boyfriend?
Yeah, sort of. I guess it's the right time to tell you who my boyfriend is.
I'm really not interested.
Just hear me out. You'll be interested after I tell you. You can bet on it. Okay, get ready. I got back together with my ex, your husband. Now your ex, and now my soon-to-be husband. LOL.
Wait, what?
After we split up, I found out that he went on to make over $200,000 a year. I was just thinking about how I could get back together with him. That's when I happened to start working in the same company and same section as you.
I see.
And after he splits with you, he'll have no problem paying you off considering how much he makes. So I figured it would be fun to steal him away from you. One day after work, I followed him and acted like I ran into him by accident. I then asked if he'd like to go to a motel for a quickie, and he jumped at the chance. I mean, who could resist, right? LOL. Hey, Jenny, can I ask you something? How does it feel to lose your husband to his ex-wife? LOL.
I'm curious, where are you vacationing?
Hawaii. We're over here on Maui at the moment. When we first got married, this is where we came on our honeymoon.
Your honeymoon was in Hawaii?
That's right. Bet you're green with envy right now. I heard you guys went on your honeymoon to a local resort. Is that true?
A local resort?
That place is like a 2-hour drive from your place. Not much of a honeymoon, LOL. Well, that's the story. He's back with me. I feel bad, but it is what it is. Who wouldn't want a husband that makes a 6-figure annual salary?
Yeah, well, just so you know, you've taken time off from the company without proper permission. Don't say I didn't tell you.
Yeah, whatever. LOL. Oh, and he said he left the divorce papers with you, so would you mind submitting them? If you don't mind. LOL. We plan to submit the proper marriage papers when we get back from Hawaii. See you later. LOL.
Hey, Ken, you free to talk? It's about your ex-wife. Seems like things are getting a bit out of hand. She just sent me a line message.
Oh, please, what now?
I'll send you what she wrote.
Okay. What the hell is this? She seems to have got everything wrong. On top of that, she likes making things up.
Yeah, so what should we do?
Well, for one, she needs to get her facts straight. We have to explain to her how much trouble she's causing us with her misconceptions. I'll contact some of my relatives, and I'll contact my folks about all this. I hate to have you do this, but when she calls again, would you mind explaining all this to her? That's all her misunderstanding? I really don't want to dump this all on you, but as you know, I'm currently on a business trip, so And besides, you're the only one who knows how to get in touch with her.
Yeah, sure thing. I'm okay with it.
Sorry to put you through all this.
Hey, Jenny, thanks for the divorce. I'm surprised you didn't put up a fight, LOL. As soon as I landed at the airport and switched on my phone, I got a message from him that the divorce went through without a hitch. So I immediately submitted the marriage papers. You know what that means, LOL.
Already?
Strike while the iron is hot. Isn't that what they say? Now I'm the happy wife of a husband with a 6-figure income. A dream come true.
Not sure how I should say this, so I'll say it straight. He's not my husband.
Excuse me?
For one, I haven't been on my honeymoon yet, and Ken said he divorced you even before he went on a honeymoon with you.
Wait, what? You didn't go on a honeymoon?
This person you got back with is Dan, right?
Yeah, so?
My husband is Ken. Dan is Ken's older brother.
Excuse me? Wait, what did you say?
My husband is your ex. Ken, that is.
Huh? Wait, what?
I heard this whole affair from Ken some time ago, but when you married Ken, you almost immediately had an affair with his brother, Dan. To make a long story short, you divorced Ken and married Dan, but you didn't get along with his folks and broke up 3 months later. I'm right so far?
Yeah, well, but you know, as long as he makes $200,000 a year, I really don't care if it's Dan or Ken. Makes no difference to me.
Yeah, I was getting to the annual income part. According to Dan's ex-wife, who he just divorced yesterday, he's the one that had a thing or two about his income. She apparently married Dan without having any knowledge of the affair and 3 months marriage with you. She even moved in with his folks, who really abused her. On top of that, she learned that she was trying to get back together with his ex-wife, meaning you, of course. As luck would have it, she saw those divorce papers on the kitchen table and immediately submitted them. She then went to her lawyer to get advice.
Wait a second, her lawyer?
Apparently, she's getting advice on how she can get financial settlement going.
Financial settlement? How much? Hold it 1 second, would you? How about Dan's income? How much is he making really?
I heard it's 0.
0? You're not serious!
Apparently, he was living off his folks all these years. They always spoiled him. That's why we keep our distance from them. Haven't talked to them in years, to be honest. Actually, it was his wife that was making $200,000 a year. He was just living off her. What's that word? Gigolo?
Gigolo? You're not serious. You didn't tell me earlier.
Well, for one thing, I have no obligation to tell you.
Excuse me?
Maybe you didn't know, but as I said, we haven't talked to Ken's folks for a long time. Ken cut ties with them years ago. And I'm Ken's wife, which means I have no responsibility to you, so why would I even think about helping you?
What the hell is going on here? I was supposed to have married a guy with a 6-figure income, for God's sake! But now I find out his income is 0? Are you kidding me?
It is what it is. So now that you understand what's going on, I just wanted to clear things up. That's why I contacted you. I'm busy, so I better get going.
Wait, you can't leave me hanging. Help me out here, Jenny. I mean, we are co-workers, right? Give me some help here.
Coworkers? No, I believe you've already been fired. I'd give them a call to verify it.
Fired? Are you serious?
I did warn you about this. You do remember? I mean, you just joined the company. You were still on temporary status. I don't believe them for firing you.
I thought you told them I was on vacation. I told you to tell them.
What would that do? It wouldn't make it official. All right then. That's all I have to say. Goodbye, Caroline. Caroline apparently just finished paying off her own debts when she concocted this scheme of marrying her ex. She thought she had made it after years of paying off her debt, but with Dan's ex-wife demanding compensation, she's currently back where she started, heavily in debt. She got fired from her new position and was forced to take a part-time job at a local restaurant. Apparently, Dan had additional debts to pay even before he was burdened with this extra demand. They had no other choice but to move in with his folks again and live off their good graces. Caroline demanded a divorce, but Dan would not have it. She's now stuck with abusive in-laws and a debt-ridden husband that will not work and refuses to give her a divorce.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hello there. You're Paula, right? Paula Henson?
Yes, that's right. Who is this?
Well, if you must ask. I'm Andy's girlfriend.
Excuse me? Who is this Andy you're talking about?
Pardon me? I'm talking about your Andrew. Oh, I get it. You never called him by his nickname, Andy, is that it? It was always Andrew with you, huh? Guess he just doesn't have affection for you, lol.
I never heard that nickname before, but if you're talking about Andrew, yes, he's my husband.
I know all that.
So that means you are Andrew's mistress. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
How rude! Not a mistress. I'm his main woman. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? I'm the one that's married to him, so that makes you his mistress, or better, his lover.
Yeah, whatever. Makes no difference. He's going to marry me one way or another.
I see. By the way, what's your name?
I'm Sarah, a young and beautiful college student. How could he resist, right?
Sarah, huh? Are you really having an affair with my husband? Are you sure you've got the right person? There are plenty of Andys around.
How could I be a mistake? And besides, I got this line address from Andy's cell phone.
I see. The reason why you're sending me this message online can only mean that you knew perfectly well that Andrew was married, but you went ahead and had an affair with him. Is that right?
Of course I knew he was married, lol. I saw his wedding band on his finger right off the bat. Oh yeah, I knew.
I see. So, does that mean you also know I'm pregnant?
Yeah, I know all about it. You guys couldn't have kids for a long time, so you had fertility treatments, right? Finally, after reaching 40 years old. Wow, having kids at that age can really take a toll, I hear. I can't imagine doing that.
Well, if you know that much, I guess what you're saying is true. You're really having an affair with my husband.
Finally believe me, huh? And also, I hate to tell you this, but I'm pregnant too.
Excuse me?
I don't have to tell you that the kid is Andy's. That's the story. Now all you have to do is divorce him, and Andy and I can live happily ever after. Actually, Andy was just saying the other day, I don't want a kid from a 40-year-old woman. I thought he was being a bit harsh, but it's kind of true, isn't it? He also said spending a fortune on fertility treatments was a high-risk, low-return endeavor, lol.
Did Andrew really say that?
With a young and healthy girl like me, I would have no problem giving him a beautiful kid. Oh yeah, by the time your kid graduates from college, you'll be a 60-year-old grandma. I just can't imagine it. If my folks showed up to my graduation and they were in their 60s, I would be super embarrassed. There is just no merit in giving birth at such an old age, lol.
Excuse me, but can we dispense with all this nonsense? So tell me, you contacted me just to tell me that you want a divorce because you're pregnant?
Yeah, that's about right. I'm going to be a young and beautiful wife with a beautiful child by a successful and handsome husband, unlike someone I know. As for Andy, I'm sure he would much rather have a young and beautiful wife as the mother of his child. Don't you agree? So, just divorce him, would you?
All right, I understand. Let me contact Andrew and verify this whole thing with him. I'll contact you later tomorrow.
Okay, but just hurry up, would you? At least before the baby is born, lol.
So that was the line message I got from some young girl named Sarah. Sorry to be an old lady. What do you plan to do about all this, Andrew?
Well, I was just, Did Sarah really tell you everything? What the hell is wrong with her?
What the hell is wrong with you, Romeo? Have you nothing to say? Which means what she said was true. So you seduced a girl 20 years younger than you and got her pregnant. Seriously?
Yeah, all true.
All true? I thought you would at least try denying it. I really don't understand what she sees in you. Have you lost your mind, Andrew?
I'm really sorry, Paula. I was just all stressed out with the fertility treatments and with work. She just sort of, took me off guard.
I don't need any of those meaningless excuses. Since when have you been seeing this, Sarah?
I guess I met here in February of this year.
So that means you've been seeing her for almost a year. And do you know that she's pregnant? Did you know about that?
Yeah, she told me last month that she was 2 months pregnant. But we haven't talked at all about what to do.
Pardon me? You haven't talked to her about any of this? What do you mean?
Well, what to do about the kid. Will we have it or not? And there's the problem of money.
You're really being irresponsible. You know that, right? Putting aside the fact that you had an affair while your own wife was pregnant, but you get this young girl pregnant and you have no plans on what you're going to do? Seriously? If that girl hadn't contacted me, were you just going to have 2 separate families and try and keep it all hush-hush? Was that your master plan? How the hell were you going to do that? You don't make enough to support 2 households. And besides, that kind of secret won't stay secret for long.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't thought it all through. It's not financially feasible, I know, but we have some money from your folks every month. I did kind of think maybe I could work it out.
Excuse me? Are you serious? Were you seriously thinking you could use money from my folks to support your little Jezebel?
No, I wasn't going to rely on you. It's just that...
How could it be any other way? You have totally outdone yourself, Andrew. The only solution I can think of is divorce.
Huh? Seriously? Divorce?
Of course! There is no other way. Do you really think I could continue living with someone who cheated on me? Even if we did manage to continue our marriage, it would be an uncomfortable existence for both of us. And someday our child. Better that we get a divorce. I don't see any other way.
But, well, I guess if you want that, I have no objection. You have your work, so you won't have a problem making a living and bringing up our child, but Sarah, she's still young and will have a hard time alone.
Okay, so there's no other option but divorce. Let's get the paperwork done as soon as possible. I'm going to gather some of my things and go over to my parents' place. With me pregnant and all, I was planning on going back anyways. I'll contact you later about the details. Maybe it will be better if we give this a bit of time. Let things cool down. We'll talk later. Hello, Sarah. It's been a while.
Finally. I was wondering when you were going to reply. You've been ignoring me this whole week.
I've been pretty busy, as you can imagine. Let's not waste any more time and get down to business, shall we? I talked to my lawyer yesterday. Andrew was there too. Long story short, we decided to get divorced.
Yes! That was what I was waiting for. I'm really sorry about this. Stealing your husband from you and all. It was me who urged you to get a divorce, I know it's gonna be hard to get another guy at your age, and with a child to boot. I wish you luck.
The discussion was also about financial compensation. The lawyer decided, and Andrew is in agreement, that we will demand $15,000 from you for damages.
Huh? Excuse me?
It would be helpful if you could pay that amount all at once, not in tiny installments. Could you do that? Besides, I don't want to have to be involved with you and Andy going forward. I urge you to borrow from your folks or go into debt or whatever, but a one-time payment would be appreciated. I suppose Andrew can pay it, but then again, I'll be demanding compensation from him too. I mean, child support and all.
Wait a sec. I have to pay? Why?
Of course you have to pay. You had an affair with a guy who was married. There are consequences for your actions. I have the legal right to demand compensation from you for stealing my husband. It's the law. Don't tell me you knew nothing about it.
But I'm pregnant. There is no way I can pay that much. I'm about to give birth to a child. I don't have that much money.
Yes, I understand your predicament, but that and this has no bearing. I have to go through the same thing. It's going to cost me money to raise my child up alone, so we're in the same dilemma. You're the one who approached my husband knowing full well he was married. I'm sure you were aware of the ramifications.
No, I did not know that. I can't pay that much. No way! Where the hell am I supposed to get $15,000? I only have a few $100s to my name, for God's sake.
What were you thinking when you first contacted me? You blurted out everything about your affair with my husband, even announcing that you are pregnant. And you thought there would be zero ramifications and you would live happily ever after with not a worry in the world? Is that it?
But, Andy never mentioned anything about paying that much money.
You two are made for each other. You people are living in fantasy land. At least Andrew admitted his error and agreed to pay the compensation. At least he has brains.
I can't pay $15,000. Please, stop this. I don't need this.
Okay then, I'll give you just one chance.
Chance? What kind of chance?
If you obey to everything I ask of you, then I won't ask you to pay $15,000.
Really? Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. I could even put it in writing for you.
I'll take it. I'll do it. I'll do anything.
Okay, don't forget what you just said. I want you to marry Andrew and never, I mean never, divorce him. If you can promise that, I can forget about this whole thing.
Excuse me? That's it?
Yep, that's it. But if you don't marry him or you get divorced, I'll demand that you pay that $15,000 right away. You got that?
Really? All I have to do is marry Andy? And that's it?
If you're not up to it, we can forget the whole thing. As long as I get my money, I'm happy.
No, wait, I'll do it. All I have to do is marry him, right? I do that and I don't have to pay, right? This is not some kind of sick joke, is it?
No joke. Besides, you're still young. You have a long life ahead of you. Your child is going to need your love and care. You will probably have to quit school once the child is born, become a full-time mom and all. There's probably a lot you have to learn going forward. So think of this $15,000 that I'm not demanding of you as a wedding gift to you and Andrew.
Paula, thank you so much. I was totally wrong about you. Thank you so much. I didn't think you were such a nice and compassionate person. I'm so sorry for all of this. I truly mean it, from the bottom of my heart. I said so many awful things to you. I really regret it. I'm really sorry about all of it.
Forget about it. It's all in the past. I just hope you and Andy and the child that's on the way will be happy. That's all I want.
I can't thank you enough. You can be sure. No, I'll try my best to make this work.
Hey, Paula! I heard the whole thing from Sarah. Thanks for what you did. Thanks for acknowledging our marriage.
Wait, what's this about? Besides, we're already divorced. I wish you wouldn't contact me anymore.
Right, but I just wanted to convey my gratitude. I know you did it for me and Sarah. Thanks so much. I couldn't believe you would dismiss the compensation as long as we got married. I mean, I thought you'd be more hostile toward us given the circumstances. You decided to show compassion for the baby, right? To be honest, if I had to pay you for damages, I'd be totally broke. I was wondering what I was gonna do. So I was extremely relieved to hear what you did. Thank you. Oh, about child support. I'll pay that, no problem.
Are you finished? I'm really not sure where you got things all wrong, but I'm still going to demand that you, not Sarah, pay compensation for what you did.
Wait, excuse me?
Don't be surprised, Andrew. Or should I call you Andy? I never said anything about you. You're not part of the deal. I only said Sarah would be exempt if she married you. That's all. But you, well, that's a different story. I will have you pay for all damages and child support. I would prefer to get all that as a one-time bulk payment. Can you do that?
Wait a sec, no way! But then, why only Sarah?
I don't know. She just seemed the type that would hold a grudge forever. I mean, when she first contacted me, she just went on and on without thinking of the consequences. She acts as though she's the victim or something. If I forced her to pay, I don't know what she would do to get back at me. I wouldn't put it past her to bring harm to me and my child in the future, so I figured it would be best to give her the upper hand, make her feel as if she's won. If I had to pick $15,000 or the safety of me and my family, well, I would definitely pick the latter. And the reason why I make these demands is to make sure you stay with her.
Seriously?
You'll probably come to your senses after a while. You'll probably wish you had paid that $15,000. Mark my words.
What do you mean by that? What are you up to?
Oh, yes, I should tell you. You're going to be relocated to the company's subsidiary up north pretty soon, so expect to be called in soon.
Wait, what? Up north? Relocated? Why? When did this happen?
What do you mean, why? Don't tell me you forgot. You do remember, right? You got into the company you're working at right now only because my brother vouched for you. The only reason you got to the position you're in at all is due to my connections. But what do? Instead of being grateful, you have an affair with a young girl and you get her pregnant. And then there's the divorce. I don't see why you could even remain at that company. Actually, you should be thankful you didn't get fired over this.
Yeah, I get it, but relocated up north? Seriously?
If you don't like it, quit and find another job. But you're already over 40 and not much to show on your resume. I'm really not confident that any company would hire you. But you can be sure of one thing. Your income will suffer.
But how can I survive?
Well, this is of your own making. You're just going to have to accept the reality and pay the compensation and child support while living up north. A middle-aged guy living in rural Michigan. When your little Sarah realizes what she's gotten herself into, she's going to be absolutely crushed. And the only way she can get out of this mess is to pay the $15,000. I'm pretty sure she'll grow resentful of you as time passes, and you'll also have to take care of your child. You'll probably have to continue working even after retirement. As kids grow older, it starts to cost a lot more to support them, too. It's not easy bringing up children. I just hope you're up to it. You'll probably be working well into your 70s. I really don't envy you.
Can't we work something out? My life, what am I gonna do?
I really don't care what happens to you, to be honest. But the child has done nothing wrong. I just hope you guys do the right thing and give your child the proper love and support. Oh, yeah, and finally...
What is it?
What did you mean by tired from the fertility treatments? The reason we couldn't have kids was because of you. But you tell her that I'm just an old lady and that you didn't want a child from some grandma. Isn't that what you said about me? Oh yeah, and high risk, no return. What's that about? Treating me like some old lady. I just pray that the child Sarah is carrying is really yours. I hope you rot in hell. Rural life will do you people some good. With that said, I hope you and Sarah and your love child have a long and prosperous life. Goodbye.
No, please, Paula, wait! Let's talk this through.
After that conversation, Andrew tried to get in touch with me numerous times. Our lawyer insisted that I cut all ties with them and not aggravate things. Well, after a while, he relented and paid the on-time compensation to me somehow, and continues to pay me child support. I heard that Sarah quit school, and soon after they got married, he was indeed relocated to a factory town in rural Michigan. They had to move out there on short notice, so no elaborate wedding ceremony or anything. You can imagine how Sarah felt about that. Apparently, they are living in a small apartment in town and trying to make ends meet. The cost of living in this area is much lower, but with all the debts he's got, he's apparently having a hard time. Even Sarah had to take a part-time job to help out. Under these hardships, the baby was finally born. The baby turned out to be a beautiful, curly-haired boy with a dark complexion. This caused some skepticism between the two, but it did not end in divorce, as far as I know. 2 years after we got divorced, I heard that Andrew grew ill due to overwork, and he became partially paralyzed and could no longer work. Sarah apparently could not take it any longer and abandoned her child and disappeared. It was impossible for Andrew to take care of the child, and his parents ended up adopting him. Last I heard, the boy was living happily with his grandparents. It's sad to see people be so short-sighted and not contemplate the future. But one thing is certain. At least the child was able to go on to a better life, and his prospects look good. As for me, I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. I live with my folks, and they are more than happy to help bring up their beautiful granddaughter. I had long wanted a child, and I was over 40 when I had her, so my affection toward her is immeasurable. The only problem I have at the moment is that I tend to spoil her too much. Although it was a little late in life, I plan to give all the love I can to my little girl. And when she graduates from college, I'll be the most beautiful over 60 mom there. Mark my words.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Madison, I'm assuming you're getting close to leaving work, right?
I actually just left the office building, and I'm riding the bus home at the moment. Is there something that you need from me?
I see. Will that bus be going by the 8th Street subway station?
Well, the last stop is actually 8th Street subway station.
Well then, you can ride that bus all the way there this time.
And why should I do that? I don't plan on going shopping or anything today either. I just wanted to get home so that I could have some downtime before having to cook dinner.
Well, I want you to go to the department store for me, so you'll have to take a little detour, okay?
The department store?
A brand of purse that I'm really into just released a brand new style. I can't stop thinking about it and have been looking at pictures online of it all day long.
Okay.
So, I'd like you to go there and pick one up for me.
And how much is that new purse going to be?
I think around $1,300 or so.
$1,300? I'm going to assume that after I get home, you'll repay me for this, right?
Excuse me, are you saying you want to take your husband's parents' money from them? You are one awfully greedy woman.
But $1,300 for a purse is no small amount. If it was just for groceries or something you need, I wouldn't mind paying. But for a purse? Can you at least wait a little while until your birthday or Christmas to get it?
All I'm saying is that I want it now. That should be enough for you to go and buy it for me.
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't just have $1,300 laying around for me to spend on that, so no.
Excuse me. Well, why don't you go to the bank and get a loan for it then? Or maybe just use one of your credit cards for it and you can pay it off at a later date.
I will lose the ability to buy food and things for me and my husband. But is that really what you want?
Huh? How does that have anything to do with my purse?
We'll be stuck having to eat really cheap food and won't be able to afford anything breaking down. But if that's what you want, then I suppose I can buy that.
How can you think that I'd let you buy cheap food for the family? I'm over this. I'm going to talk with Drew about this. I guess I was wrong for asking his moneyless and greedy wife to get me a simple purse. I just assumed that you working for a huge company meant your salary was good enough to ask for such a purse. But I should think twice next time before asking you for anything. It's crazy that I even allowed Drew to marry a selfish woman like you. Really, I was hoping he'd find a woman that knew how to treat her husband's family with respect, but I guess I was deceived by you in every way. I'm not going to let this go, Madison. I hope you understand that you'll be hearing about this again from me and Drew at a later date.
I don't think that Drew will just go out and buy you a $1,300 purse that easily either. Him and I are in the same boat of not wanting to spend money on needless things right now.
Well, unlike you, he knows how to save up money and has more than enough to buy his mom one present. I need to get in touch with him before those purses go out of stock. I've already heard that a lot of the stores in town are out of them, and I'm not going to let your selfish crap be what stops me from getting one.
This again, huh?
I knew it was the right choice getting myself this new purse. I heard that this was the last one they had in stock at the store. That was a dangerous situation I had to face. I was right to ask for Drew to go out and get me this beautiful new purse.
He really ended up buying it for you, huh? I should have known that he'd resort to being such a mama's boy.
Well, he didn't even trouble me with all that talking back, like you. So I'm glad that I stopped where I did with you and decided to ask him. Oh, this is so much fun. I just love sitting here feeling the natural leather. And this bag will complement that new red dress of mine so well.
I wish you at least think a bit more about other people's money before you start asking them to use it for you.
Well, it's all my son's money anyway, so I have every right as his mother to use it any way I please.
But there is a limit to that. And shouldn't you have money of your own? You're retired now and have a pension that you can use to buy that sort of stuff if you save well enough.
Oh, geez. You are such an annoying dog. I was feeling so wonderful to have my hands on this purse, and yet here you are ruining that feeling. I guess I could try to de-stress. I'll ask and see if he can get me a nice tote bag to match this purse.
Hold on. Do you not realize that we don't have the money to afford all of those high-end brand bags for you?
Well, listen, Madison. You guys do have the money. Or I guess I should say that Drew does. I know that more than you do.
What?
I think you'll soon start to learn about everything that's been going on with your husband and the wealth he's going to have.
Yeah? What do you even mean by that?
Well, as we get closer, you'll see what I mean. I hope that you start to prepare yourself for the future that's ahead of you.
Ashley? I just realized that a lot of the things in the house have gone missing. What the actual hell is this about?
Ah, you've made it back home. I only just got out of there a little bit ago, so that really saved me from having to deal with you in person.
But I want to know what's going on.
I'd like to think that you found the divorce papers that were left behind for you.
I did. They were sitting on the living room table right in the open for me to spot. But what the hell is up with this?
It's just as it looks. I want you to divorce my son immediately.
Wait, this is way too messed up that I can't even understand you. Can you tell me again what you said, but this time with a little bit more explanation behind it?
Drew is going to be getting married to a much younger and much more wealthy woman, so he's moved out of there into a gorgeous new estate.
Huh? A wealthy and young woman? And a gorgeous estate?
My son happened to come across a rich girl that happened to fall in love with him.
Huh?
Well, they started dating with the idea of marriage. And unlike you, she happens to let me buy things with her money and doesn't even talk back to me at all. This is when I expected you'd start to understand.
So this all started because of your desires of using someone else's money to buy all your brand items.
Sure did. She has a small fortune in her bank account, so buying what I want is no problem for her.
Who the hell even is this woman and where is she from?
There's that really nice part of the suburbs home to all sorts of luxury estates, right? Well, she happens to live right in the center of all those nice estates in a much larger and more modern mansion.
What? Really?
When I think about a rich and young woman compared to a moneyless middle-aged woman, she stands out like a star next to a rock. She comes from a completely different way of life.
Are you serious right now?
I am. Drew has no other choice but to leave the woman with no money in her account. It's only natural for him, after all. And then you can go live on your own at whatever place you can actually afford. Well, now that you understand the situation, I'd like you to hurry along with the divorce.
Understood. Thanks for helping me see this clearly. I hope you have a great life.
Yes, you don't have to tell me that. I'm already the happiest I've ever been in my life.
Angela, has there been anything crazy going on with you lately?
Oh, hi, Madison.
Are you okay right now?
Well, I'm starting to get the hang of what's been happening. Just a bit ago, Mom and her son seemed to be at the front of my house. They came right into my house with all these boxes saying that they were going to be moving in with me, and made quite the mess for me. Right now, I'm with my husband, and we are discussing everything that just happened. Madison, that man, he looks a lot like the man that's been stalking me for a while now. Actually, I think he is that man.
For crying out loud.
So, why do you want to know something about this happening to me?
Well, I think that man that's been stalking you is my husband. And he was most likely there with his mom.
What?
Was it a man that had a pretty lean body and looked in his 30s with a much older woman who was even more thin and looked within her late 60s? I'm sure it also seemed like the mom was in control of the situation and had him on a leash the whole time.
Yeah, that's what I saw. And actually, the man seemed to stand behind and let his mom do the talking. I guess that really must be your husband then.
I'm so sorry that my husband has stepped out of line and caused you this much trouble. It turns out that my husband thinks he is going to marry you, and that he's allowed to just move into that house with you.
What?
I wonder if he has you confused as some sort of person with a lot of money that lives alone in an estate like that. And his mom seems to think that a person like you would just marry him and let her spend all the money of yours that she'd like.
Now that you mention it, his mom did go right up to my husband and said that her son is going to marry his sister, and that she is there to watch it all happen. But my dad only has brothers, and so this all seemed really strange to both him and me.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but can you give me a little time to handle this? I want to have a chance to talk to my mother-in-law about this. Of course, if you can't manage giving me a little time, you're more than welcome to just call the police on them both. I don't really mind.
All right, I just hope you could get to the bottom of this.
Ashley, what the hell are you both doing at my friend's house? I'm talking about the woman that Drew plans to marry.
Oh my, so you do happen to know who she is?
She has been friends with me through both middle school and high school, and even now we still happen to go out every once in a while.
I see. So you really do have some deep connections to this fine woman. But could this just be you acting like she's your friend when she really has no idea who you are?
The only people that she doesn't know a thing about are you and your son.
Huh? What do you mean, Madison?
That woman is not the single owner of that house. Both her and her husband own it, and he's the one that bought it for them.
What?
Right now, the man that you've been thinking of as her brother is actually her husband that she's been with for a while now.
She's already married to someone?
Yes. I have been hearing stories from her for a while now about someone stalking her when she goes out or has the curtains in the house open. And then when he told me that the location of this estate was in a very high-end suburb and the house resided in the center of it with a very modern design, I knew exactly who you were talking about. And that's when I immediately started talking to her about you both. She told me that a mom and her son barged into their house, creating a whole scene saying that they'd be moving in with her.
Wait, does that mean that Drew has been the stalker?
That's what it seems like. And I think Drew misunderstood the fact that she is indeed already married to another man.
You're lying. My son has no reason to have done any of that.
For the time being, can you and Drew just get that truck out of their driveway and leave their property? If you don't and continue to be inside their house, they will have no choice but to call the police and have the both of you arrested for this.
Arrested? Drew and I? Madison! What the heck do you think you're doing? Where have you run off to? We both came right back to the house like you asked, and you are nowhere to be found in here. What do you think you're doing?
I have no plans on ever coming back to that house ever again.
Huh?
I took all my things and got them moved into a small storage container for the time being. And tonight I'm going to be staying at a hotel where I can take things easy without having to see either of you.
What are you talking about?
I had actually been thinking about divorcing Drew for a little while now, so I've been moving my things into that storage container little by little. But when I found out what you both did, I took that time alone to act.
Do you know what you're saying? I'm not going to allow you to leave my son.
Whoa, wait. Wasn't it you that went out of your way to put those divorce papers on the living room table for me?
Well, my son's no longer going to be marrying a young and wealthy woman, so what I wanted before is all in the past now. Now you get your butt back over here.
Well, I've already handed in all the divorce paperwork to the city office.
Excuse me?
And also, there's no reason for me to worry about either of you guys anymore, so your permission isn't necessary.
What?
You've already given me more than enough reason to leave you guys, so why don't we just stop talking to each other now?
What have we done besides putting a piece of paper on a table for you?
Well, for starters, Drew has been stalking another woman for a while now. And now that you both acted on who he assumed would marry him and let you guys move in, causing a huge mess, I just can't deal with you both. Also, me leaving you both probably won't be the end of your guys' problem.
Uh-huh. What else do you have planned for me and Drew? Madison! Can you please get back in touch with Drew for me? Your friend has come after Drew for stalking her for a while now and plans to take him to court, and it's going to cost us a lot of money. And I had assumed that Drew had the money to deal with all of this, but he said he expected to become rich after marrying your friend. He had used up all his money while waiting to marry her and has been borrowing money for the past few months. He told me that all the money I used to get those bags and purses was all from the borrowed money he had. So, I need you now, more than ever. The money that you have saved up could really help us out of this situation. I'll forgive you for everything if you just get back with Drew and give us some of your money. Please, Madison, you have no reason to say no to us, right? Madison, can you at least give me an answer? Hello?
The following day, I was met with both that stalker Drew and his mom showing up at my office out of nowhere. Luckily, I wasn't there as I had already told my work about the events that were occurring. And so they allowed me to work remotely and told both Drew and his mom that I was not working there anymore and had changed offices. They continued trying to ask the woman at the front desk where the office was that I moved to, but she continued telling them that she couldn't give that information. Also, now that I'm back at my parents' house with my dad, who used to be in the police force himself, I really have nothing to worry about from those two. And that was the last of my relation to the stalker boy and his mommy. All I've heard about them now is that they ended up having to take out even more money in order to pay off the court hearing and settlement from my friend. And that put them in a really bad spot financially. And also, because Drew was now officially known as a stalker, the company he worked for found out and ended up firing him. Now, while the two of them work to pay back all the loans they took out, both end up fighting each other over whose fault all this really was.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey Brian, are you there? Just wanted to know if you finally found a job yet. I mean, it's been a whole year already. 1 whole year. I can't believe that you're really just going to content yourself with working from home. It's ridiculous. I know that your company filed for bankruptcy last year and that you managed to get a good chunk of change in your severance package, but still. What are we supposed to do when that money runs up, huh? You have to think about the future and find a real job.
Wow, Lois, you are really blowing up my phone today. And I don't understand why you're messaging me like this when we're both in the house right now.
I don't have to explain myself to you at all. Just hurry up and find a job already. How the heck are we supposed to survive if you're just going to be working from home? You need to go and apply for a real company with a building and go there. That's the only way we're going to make enough money to live.
Lois, I don't know how many times I've had to explain all this to you, but I already make more than enough for us to live comfortably with the job that I have right now. In fact, I'm glad that my old job fell apart because it allowed me to turn my side job into my main focus. And things are going really well for me, so I don't think we have anything to worry about. I mean, when was the last time that you checked our bank accounts?
Oh, please. I would hardly call what you're doing right now making enough for us to live comfortably. I am sick and tired of your excuses. I want you to find a job so that I can finally quit my part-time one and be a housewife full-time. You seriously need to wake up, face the facts, and start applying for jobs.
Lois, I really think there is some kind of miscommunication or something going on here. I mean, just how much would I have to make it for it to be enough for you?
I think that any man worth his spit should be making at least $100,000.
And just where did you pull that number from?
You are useless. I can't stand you. Do you know that? Do you want me to divorce you? Is that what's going on here?
Wait, what? Where did that come from all of a sudden?
Well, what other choice am I going to have if you don't go out and find a job? Why are you such a lazy little weakling, Brian? I know that you've always been a quiet, reserved person, but the fact is that we need money to survive. I know that you're sad about your last place of work shutting down, but this isn't the time to wallow in self-pity. You've got to learn how to deal with people and start getting job interviews. I've had enough of this working from home nonsense.
I really don't think that you know what you're talking about right now. Besides, plenty of people work from home and make more than enough for themselves.
That's just an excuse home workers like you tell themselves to try and feel better about their uselessness. But you need to wake up and realize that just making $30,000 a year is not going to cut it.
You think that I make $30,000 a year?
I don't think, I know. I've seen the bank accounts and that's how much was deposited in.
I see. And that's why you think I need to go out and find a new job.
Are things finally starting to click in that little head of yours now? Well, it's too late. I've had it with you. We are getting a divorce and that is that. I'm going to go out and get the divorce papers soon. And since this apartment is being rented under my dad's name, I want you to pack your things and get out. You have until tomorrow, so you better start putting things in boxes now.
Okay then, if that's really what you want. But for the record, I make $300,000 a year, not $30,000.
Ha ha ha, in your dreams you do. Anyways, I've had enough of your lies and excuses. I mean it this time, Brian. You've messed around too much, and now it's time to face the consequences. Hey, have you already moved all of your things out?
Yep, I think I left the apartment with all my stuff around 6 in the morning. Thankfully, there were a few places looking for immediate tenants, and so I was able to find a new place to live right away.
Oh, really? Well, isn't that nice? And the divorce papers? Did you sign them like I asked you to?
I sure did. It should be all signed and ready to go. Just sit on the kitchen table.
I see. Well, everything seems to be in order here. I guess I'll get ready and then go to the courthouse to drop these off so that it's official.
Sure thing. Sounds good to me. Anyways, I'm working out of a cafe for now, so I'm gonna go.
Ha ha ha! You mean you're still doing the same job? That really is just sad. I'm happy that our marriage is over. I could never spend the rest of my life with someone who's too scared to even apply for a real job. Ha ha ha!
Hey, Elena. It's been a while since you last spoke, hasn't it? This is Brian, by the way.
Oh, Brian. It really has been a while, hasn't it? Is there something I can do for you?
Well, I'm very sorry to drop this news on you all of a sudden, but as of today, Lois and I are no longer husband and wife. We got a divorce.
Hold on a second. You and my daughter got a divorce?
That's right. I think Lois is probably dropping off the divorce papers right about now, if I had to guess.
But I don't understand. What happened? Don't tell me that Lois went off talking and acting without thinking again. Oh, it's all her father's fault. He spoiled her rotten growing up, and now that she's an adult, she still expects everything handed to her right away.
I'm really sorry to be bad-mouthing your daughter, but I think that's pretty spot on. Or rather, it's more like she just gets an idea of what is going on in her head and refuses to let it go, including about me. But I guess in her head, she reached her limits with me and decided she couldn't stand being with me anymore.
What do you mean? What kinds of things did she get in her head about you?
Well, she seems to think that I only make $30,000 a year through my job.
You're kidding me! Did she really say that?
That's right. She says that she was looking through our bank accounts and saw that that was how much I was paid.
Oh my. I just don't even know what to do with that girl anymore. But thank you so much for coming to me and telling me about this. I'll tell my husband, but he's away on a business trip overseas right now.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, we should talk about this in more detail soon, if that's all right with you. Again, I'm so sorry to come to you with this so suddenly, but we'll talk soon.
Hey, Brian, just what the heck is going on? I just got off the phone with my dad and he told me that you make $300,000 a year, not $30,000. What's the meaning of this? Why didn't you tell me any of this? How could you trick me into divorcing you like I did? If I knew that, I would never have left you.
Hey there, Lois. Hope the past couple of days have been treating you well.
Don't you pretend like you didn't read all those messages I just sent. You get your butt back to our house now and you sign our wedding papers.
You mean you want to be married to me again? That was fast.
I want to marry you because you tricked me into divorcing you. I have to put things back how they were now.
And you think I'm gonna go along with that?
Well, I only divorced you because I thought you were making so little money in the first place. But now that I know that you make 10 times that, I want you to come back and marry me again.
Yeah, I don't really want to do that.
But why not? What's wrong?
Let me ask you something, Lois. What is it that you think I do for a living?
Well, you work from home, right?
That's the smallest possible start there could be, I guess, but you're not technically wrong. Do you know anything at all about who I work for, what it is that I'm working on while I'm at home?
I don't know, work from home stuff?
Ugh, this is going nowhere fast. I actually write for a very popular blog and put the stock market on the side. Every now and then I'll help out with some copy editing from writer friends as well.
And you make $300,000 a year doing that?
That's right. I guess when you logged in to check our bank account, you must have missed a zero somewhere in your calculations.
I missed just a single zero.
Well, that zero made all the difference, really, didn't it?
But I had no idea that I made a mistake at all.
Yeah, that much is quite obvious to me.
But what happens now?
I tried to explain this to you before, but you just never listened to me. Although your dad has heard of me and knows that I'm a somewhat famous investor. Anyways, he hired me to help manage his stocks and has helped me make a lot of connections through him.
Wait, so then you work for my dad?
That's right. He was the one that introduced us in the first place, remember? I always wanted to marry you, ever since that day. But once we were married, you seemed to think that I was a weak pushover. Anyways, I've lived with you long enough to know that I don't want to do it again.
But wait, if we're divorced then, what's going to happen to you working for my dad?
I don't know. You'll probably have to take it up with him.
But this isn't fair. I had no idea. What if my dad forces you to get married to me again? I can make him do that.
I really don't think that you can, actually.
Just get back here and marry me right this second.
I already told you that this is not going to happen, and nothing is going to change my mind.
So you don't care at all what happens to my dad or his finances?
Well, he's not even my main source of income anymore. Besides, I've already found him a different investor who is ready to take over his accounts. Plus, I've shown these messages to your father, and he understands why I'm wanting to leave you.
Oh no, this is really bad though. My dad is going to be so mad at me. He might even disinherit me. Please, you have to get back together with me.
Sorry, I'm actually really busy trying to meet a bunch of deadlines, so if this is all you have to say, I think we're done here.
No, Brian, please don't go.
In the end, it was just as Lois feared, and she ended up being disinherited by her father for constantly acting so selfishly. He even threw out of the apartment he had paid for her to live in. Her father said that she would have to make her own way through life and only offered her help in the way of an entry-level job at the hotel chain that he owned. It seems that Lois is already in debt after having to get back on her feet, and that she spends every day changing sheets and leaving little chocolates on every guest's pillow. As for me, Lois's father and I parted on good terms. He tried to offer me a huge raise to keep me on, but money isn't everything, and I knew that I wanted a clean break from that family. Now, I'm focusing on my job in the publishing industry and really loving it.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.